Welcome back to the Art of Networking, the Ed Factor Memoir docu-series. And today we'll be talking about maintaining, scheduling, and also bringing on some of the great people you like to see on the Ed Factor podcast. I want you to see the book cover and know, like, dang, I want to read this book. And when you read the book, I feel like you're going to get nostalgia of knowing, like, dang, this is the art of networking. This is what I can do. This can change my life type thing. So when it comes to the art of networking, Ed Factor Memoir, man, it's an amazing thing. I thought about it because a lot of people think about networking as, oh, my mom knew Charlie back when Charlie worked at Georgia Tech, and that's how I'm going to go to college at Georgia Tech. And don't get me wrong, that is true. But once you get there, it becomes an art because you're going to not only learn who Charlie is, you're going to also learn who Roger is. It's going to go down a whole line of people that you know of, okay, hey, how can I actually do this? And a lot of people that I have networked with say, hey, when you get in this space, do it for the next person. So that also goes into the imaging. A lot of those people that's in that image, or all those people that's in those images on my cover to come out, man, it's amazing that I have already interviewed those people and just the amazing careers that they're in or what they mean to me. Like some of my friends on there, man, they never thought they'd probably be on a book cover, but now they are. So those type of things inspire me, and I hope that it inspired them. This ain't one of them judge the book by a cover and put it down. You're going to read it. So before, man, I was doing this thing where you like email people or like I DM them and like you got to go through this whole process of like them emailing you back and forth. And then I was able to find like this app called Calendly that allows you to schedule, your episodes. And it's very well thought out because you can schedule the episodes to 2023 types. So, in doing that, it gives you the time for people that are very, very busy, like engineers, doctor, lawyers, any player, athlete that I brought on. It makes it easier for them to schedule and also makes it easy to let people know when I'm going on a trip or anything of that nature. I kind of manifest like, okay, man, how we going to do these questions? And by doing that, I kind of ask for a bio when I reach out to them. To the different guests and things of that nature. And when I'm reaching out to them, I kind of form all up that stuff. Once I got their bio, write out the questions, try to go for a feel for the show. And once I have my feel for the show, most of the times I ask the people that I'm reaching out to how they like the questions. We'll go from there. When something may come up or like a life event, or emergency may come up. In the past, I'd be like, dang, I can't believe we can't do this episode. But now I'm more prevalent because things come up in my life. Like you may have a doctor's appointment or emergency in the family or different things like that. And you have to be able to pivot and schedule when you're coming out, especially when it comes to networking, because somebody might be busy and doing something. Also, this works for when it comes to like athletes. I also just learned is that like throughout the season and also in the off season, they may be going through family things or different things that they're dealing with. So it's good to always have that time that Calendly helps out with that too, where you can be like, okay, man, just go back in and reschedule, and it works with the common day working people too. Yeah, man. So I definitely stay in touch with the people in a great vast way of, I have them all their emails wrote down in a spreadsheet. Also had most people now got social media. So I had a social media page. So anytime a birthday or anything that happens on their job or anything maybe on LinkedIn, I'll say something real quick or I may repost it. But also if I had a personal, I may text them and say, hey, how y'all doing? It's good to hear from you, or do you need anything? And I always let people know before we end any episode that if you need anything from me, you're part of the Ed Factor network now. And it's a growing network and people always reach back out, man. Or even when I'm it takes time now with the content that I have to put out episodes. So when I put out an episode, people be so excited, like, oh, it's finally dropping. I'm on the Ed Factor, like it's lit, and hearing things like that really inspire me to keep going. The most beneficial thing is to know that if I wanted a job, I could get it. If I wanted a career or wanted to help a friend out, I can kind of make that phone call now. Another thing that's amazing about networking is more important than your net worth, and knowing that like when you're networking, man, you're always going to be able to make change, because I may meet a lawyer or a doctor or an engineer that works for Google and says, hey, I want to work for you guys one day, or hey, Jermey, I want to come bring you on because I brought you on the show. Consistency is key. I mean, when it comes to like doing the It Factor, when I first started, I started with a co-host, and I remember you telling me like he had left like in the second episode. He was like, "You still can do this, a lot of people." I think that with that, it built something in me to say, it burned a fire in me to say, "Hey, you know what? Whatever person that I'm reaching out to, let me make sure that I stay in them, emailing them, DMing them, even to the point to where it may get annoying, but they'll always say, man, you diligent and you're reaching out." And that carries over into how I do it with the show. Like I drop episodes on holidays. I'll drop episode like, and long as you editing it, we good to go, and in that doing that, I know, and having you, Ricky, and also everyone, having y'all to be able to help me out. Yeah, so I'm always open to suggestions. People always reach out and tell me that they would like to see a pilot or like to see someone in a profession I never heard of, and I feel like the biggest thing is I'm looking for Black professionals that are doing amazing things in their field, but I'm also looking for friends and family that's willing to come on and have a conversation and promote change. That's what I'm all about, changing the narrative. As you can see, we out here changing the narrative. And I feel like in that, I bring on some of the best and brightest people, man. And it just makes me excited to be able to see what the It Factor is doing. And so like a lot of things you'll see throughout the book, I kind of talk it over with my wife, my friends, and also spoke it over with my mom. And just, she always be like, more people than people that's in tech. And I was like, she's like, what about your friends? What about your family? What about the people that you don't know that want to do tech or that don't do tech? But so I decided to go ahead and step out on faith and say, okay, I can bring on anyone in any profession, and it doesn't matter how it looks. Let's just make it happen. So that's what made me do that. Also, it pits you out of that box of just saying Black people in tech. It takes you out of that box and opens it up for all the amazing people you see on the It Factor today. So when you hear no's, man, it's just fuel for yeses, and don't let that one no or two or three no's stop you from what you really want to do. That's also when it comes to consistency, people going to tell you no. When it comes to life, people going to tell you no. But my biggest thing is when I see that no, I reach out to 10 to 15 more people that's going to probably say yes. But as long as I get one out of that 10 to 15 people to say, yes, we good, the It Factor still lives. That's how you got to think about it when it comes to something. Also, when you're chasing your dream, no matter how many people tell you no, it's going to be people that are going to tell you yes. So definitely, man, I got multiple stories of that, man. Like it was a young lady that reached out to me about one of my boys who went to Clark with, and she asked me about how could she get to him about cybersecurity. And I'm like, okay, man, we can make that happen. Long story short, once everything happened, my boy was able to get her a job in cybersecurity. So it's things like that like it can be one email away or a phone call away. Another thing is I was able to reach out to one of a big time athlete that I watched. I was reaching out to him by myself, and I was like, oh dang. But I was able to see that he signed with one of his cousins, and I reached out to his cousin, and we was able to set that episode up. To now he wants me to be able to do, stuff for his clothing line and his athletic wear. So it's different things like that. Or even when it comes to family, I'm able to pull people in and say, hey, what y'all want to do? You want to interview? Oh, you got this type of raise, you got this type of thing. Let's come on the show and show people like what we're doing out here. Different things like that. Even with you guys, man. even with my guys that are doing this shoot now, man, it wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for people like yourselves. So that's amazing. That's networking in itself. You know, using the people that's with you. I'm just trying to show people that you can use your people in a positive way to set them up. That's what changing the narrative is.